In a few weeks, I will be out to Israel and I will be out to Gaza, and I will be able to report to you guys what it is that I actually see. But I also want to say this because it's so important. I am Team God. Okay? I'm Team God. I do not fear the media. I do not fear journalists. I do not fear AIPAC. I don't fear big pharma. What I actually fear is God. I think that one day we are all going to have to account for the things that we have done and the things that we have said. And I want to make sure that I am not a person that is parroting lies.
Well, that is a very strong statement to make. And Candace Owens, I will give it to her. It seems like she really is stepping up, and she's trying to live by those values, and that's good for her, for sure. So guys, we have it. This is it. I don't know if anybody's ever been paying attention to what's going on necessarily over there at the Daily Wire. I think that everybody has. Everybody's really been talking about this, whether you're on the left or right, in the middle and in between. Everybody's been kind of waiting for the final nail in the coffin between Candace and Ben. And let's call it what it is, because yes, Candace Owens has been let go from the Daily Wire. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Before we do, guys, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys and connecting. And we'll have a lot more to talk about. There's a lot coming out from this story, especially that it's happening fast. And it is an important story because it shows you that, are people really ready to fight for freedom of speech, right? Or do we get worked up when it's kind of, quote, our people, our side doing the harming of a situation that might come off looking negative in this situation? And so today, for me, I feel like the Daily Wire has shown its true colors and said that freedom of speech is cool, but once you start getting too close to my side, it just kind of, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's not going to work. Now, with that being said, when you listen to Candace Owens say in this episode, this was her last episode, she said that she was going to go to Israel and report the truth. Conservative Candace Owens has left the news outlet, the Daily Wire. And I'm saying she's left. I'm going to tell you that Jeremy Boring, when he posted it this morning, I saw it as soon as it came out, it said that they ended their relationship. And I just think that, out of, I guess, some sort of fake respect to her, they didn't say that they fired her. But this is a person who was adamant that they were going to Israel, right? Okay, so after a war of words with founder and news brand fellow right-wing figure Ben Shapiro, which began shortly after the outset of the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. This was her last show. Shout out to Dr. Scott, because we definitely did use his writing about this. Now, what you see here is this. She really thought she was going there, and she said, I'm going to report the truth. Now, what I'm assuming is that she probably told him, okay, cool, I'll go to Israel, because that's the thing. It's always when something like this happens, Ben and somebody, they go to Israel and they discuss something and they look at a couple things. Elon did do it. These are the kind of things that happen. So I'm pretty sure, I would imagine that they were going to have some sort of reuniting type trip. Okay, we'll have Ben take Candace to Israel. And hey, you know what? We'll make them be friends, because they really have not tweeted at each other or anything since the first go round of their feud. So I think that they probably were planning a beautiful production, and then things would have went back to being hunky-dory or whatever, peaches and cream. And then Candace probably was like, well, when I get out there, I'll go with you guys, but I'm going to report on everything that I see. And they knew, can't control her, just shut it down. Okay, so let's see what else we have as far as reactions to this too. This is just extraordinary. So this is Andy No and Dave Rubin talking about it. Let's see what they have to say.
I think that the political left is obviously very happy whenever they can see the right in the United States be fractured or have issues of infighting. But at the end of the day, these are issues that have to be resolved. How do you reconcile very disparate views that exist on the right about the state of Israel. Obviously, there are views of Israel that go from criticisms all the way to hatred of the state of Israel, all the way to anti-Semitism that exists on the far right. That's also additional context to this story that I didn't mention earlier. That a lot of the online cheerleading of Miss Owens in recent weeks and months have come from the online so-called Groyper movement, which is extremely anti-Semitic. And hit pieces have been written about Miss Owens for this. I don't fault her, by the way, for what other people say and write about her. But her critics have also pointed out that she's failed to sufficiently distance herself from these people who have come now to cheer her on. And you can see these in the comments in the back and forths that have happened. So that's also part of the context here, that they're.
So so we won't get into all the way the movements, whatever movement he called it out, but I'll say this notion of you have to distance yourself in order to be appropriate to be taken serious is, I don't know, guys, it's feeling a little gatekeeping to me, right? Because I'll say this, in a situation like this with Palestine, Israel, the truth lands where it falls. You'll see a lot of quote leftists that are protesting. They actually protested all the way to the AIPAC building, which I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. I thought that was a very organized and focused move. We're not promoting any kind of anything like that on this channel, right? So, but of course, conservatives were like, "Oh, look at the vape mob, right?" And I'm like, I don't know, man. They're kind of focused, bro. Like they went all the way over to AIPAC, bro. Like, I mean, are we really worked up about that? Like, because we do know lobbyists on our electoral, officials and candidates. So, I mean, that's kind of bringing some sort of awareness to the people, right? And so this notion that you have to always distance yourself, what is it that I have to get a list and say, well, who am I supposed to distance myself from? When I was on the quote left, if you will, Donald Trump, they would say things like, he doesn't act presidential and stuff. And even on the quote left, I quote everything because to me, it's all theater. But I was like, doesn't matter if he acts presidential. A lot of people say somebody doesn't act a certain way. What is this appropriate way that they're supposed to act, right? So anyhow, so I just think that's kind of funny that he brought that up. Now we go back, we're just looking to see. And yeah, well, okay. Ben Shapiro is not really, he hasn't said anything, but he's not going to tweet now anyway. So some people are saying Candace bringing up her beef with Ben Shapiro on his own platform, like, just fire me already, please. Let me see.
Obviously, everybody remembers that a clip started circulating of Ben Shapiro here at Daily Wire making ad hominem attacks on me, which I chose not to respond to at that time. I didn't think it was appropriate. But that, of course, just fed more people that were attacking me. Obviously, everybody remembers.
So, yeah, remember when that happened? I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but don't worry, I have the clip for you. Like, I do have the clip. And I mean, that did happen. And for somebody to say, oh, she brought him up on her show. Oh, that's peak. I want to be fired. No, she made a point. We're going to go straight into what Ben Shapiro said. So here we go.
Yes. The question is about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this is disgraceful. Without a doubt. I think she's been absolutely disgraceful. I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous. It's not faux sophistication, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see the moves that she's making and the things that she's saying, and I find them disreputable.
So you heard, well, yeah, I mean, just even that statement alone, it's like her faux sophistication. I mean, how long does it's just rude. Like, you didn't have to come at me like that. So we have a lot going on. Let me see. Crowder's trending. I just kind of want to see this real quick while I have you guys on here. A lot of people owe Crowder an apology for the Daily Wire saga. You know, absolutely. I mean, I don't think that anybody was really mad at Crowder when yeah, I don't see now. That's true. This is so we'll have to go into this and we'll have to look at this because Candace Owens, she did give Crowder a absolute hard time when all of that. She did stand up hard for Daily Wire, and he was calling out really the same thing she's calling out, and you know, and now look today. So this does make it look bad, and I'm glad that somebody reminded me about that. And so we do need to talk about that part too. So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, this is what happened. We'll have more to come. Please keep it up right here. Please, again, don't forget to hit like and subscribe because we'll have more to come because Candace Owens, I believe, has responded. We're going to see what's going on with the other guys on the Daily Wire, all of it. So more to come, guys. I'll see you guys at the next one.